I'm heading up to the property today because the last time I was out there, which was, what, a week or two ago, I forgot that when I pulled up that tree, some of the silt fence that I had moved was kind of relying on it to stay in place, and it's rained quite a bit. Sorry for the awesome camera work here. Trying to drive. Fortunately, the road's empty. Don't worry too much. Oh God, this is a disaster. It's rained quite a bit since I did that, so I'm hoping it's not washed out just like hanging down the side of the mountain. We'll see. Well, I'm up here at the property and it looks like we did have quite a bit of rain up here. You can see all this gravel just kind of randomly washed down right here. Well, that's because these massive ruts that it washed out. So I'm up here where they put this fence in. You can see it a little bit up there too, but there's this ditch here. And that's where all the water's supposed to run. Sorry if there's a lot of wind hitting the camera. I'll try to block it. And it came down here as it's supposed to. And there's like a little culvert or something right here. Pretty sure it's right about here where this gravel stops, and I think the gravel plugged it up, and so the water just started spilling off of it and just going straight down the road there, cutting this little crevice. Obviously I don't have the proper tools, which would be a tractor, to fix this, but I might see if I can get my little rake and shovel and try to correct it a little bit, because it's a pretty deep rut, and you know, obviously I don't live here. But I don't know, I would want to take it upon myself to fix it if I had a house up here, so maybe I'll see what I can do with it. I don't know. Well, one thing I'm happy to report is the silt fence right up there, right, this general area here is what I was worried about, and it still seems to be holding itself up there. I'll try to secure it probably before I go. That was my main objective, but since it's fine, I guess it's okay to maybe redirect my efforts to, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I'm trying to smooth out this road, which sounds retarded, but pretty much everything I've done so far with this property has been retarded. So I guess we'll just keep going on that track and hope that someday it'll end up paying off. Well, it is quite a bigger task than the tools I'm working with, but right there is the little culvert and it was completely buried. So yeah, I got some of this kind of raked up here. Nowhere near where it needs to be, but at least my theory was right. Man, I gotta say, I feel like I haven't really done much, but I am like taxing myself out. I think taking a, what was it, 2 or 3 month break from any work here, maybe longer than that. I'm already like back to square one, not used to it. Looks like we've had a little bit of a case of the silt fence getting overwhelmed here. You can see that spike there, that stake there has gotten laid over. Why is it still zooming? Oh, the thing was stuck. And this right here has gotten washed down to where it's barely holding on. You can see it looks a little muddy there, so definitely had some movement here with the rain washing some of our soil down. I think it just got overwhelmed with soil, but I'm wondering if this tree here may have, or this limb actually, I was wondering if it may have played a role. Hard to say. I might try to move it up to those little small trees right there to give it more reinforcement though. So an idea I had, since those ruts down there are so deep and a lot of the gravel was washed away and what is left there is kind of packed down, I was like, I wonder if this would be a good opportunity to get rid of this. I could just toss all this down there and fill up the rut. It seems like a perfectly legitimate idea to me. But then again, so was everything else I've done here. Oh, so I don't know. I'm probably not gonna do that, but that would be a good way to get rid of it. It sucks that I'm not a careless redneck like so many other people. So what I did here was I just took the stake that I had laying down there and I just kind of rolled it up and jammed it down into the hole where the limb was. And it seems to be buried well enough to where that'll be hopefully an improvement over it just kind of laying over. We'll see. Another thing that I noticed here is that it's probably hard to tell on camera, but the little stairway I have there is basically runes now. It's not completely smoothed out, but it's definitely more of a ramp at this point than a stairway. And down there you can see my little ditch area actually seemed to have worked fairly well. It kind of washed out, and not expecting that all to last too long, but judging by the way it looks, it's kind of washing back into the hole instead of outward, so maybe it'll hold up more in that way than I anticipated. I don't know. Let's take a happy stroll over to the old rock, see what it's been up to, how its life has been going. Wow, a lot of this ridge I had here is kind of filled up with dirt. This isn't quite as notched out as I think I left it. Here's the old rock, just as in half as ever as when we last left it. One thing that was cool is I think on the video where I was using the Dex pan on this, I think it was the manufacturer or someone representing the manufacturer actually commented and told me that I did everything wrong, which I already anticipated, but that was kind of cool to have them actually like find the video and comment on it, which is understandable, even if it's like a video with hardly any views. What the hell? I'm just trying to talk here about my Dex pan adventures, and there's a big ant walking away with a piece of a worm or something. He's very adamant about keeping that piece of worm in his life. Oh, look at him, he's even going up the little root with it. That is determination. Maybe this ant is a sign. Maybe he's trying to tell me something. Oh, this little hook thing is wrapped around the root. He can't get it. Are you smart enough to figure it out, ant? You can't just pull it. He's looped around it. Oh, he's pissed. He's like, what the hell? What has got this thing caught? He's trying to figure it out. Come on, man. It's looped. It's so obvious. You gotta get to the other side and pull it down. Oh shoot, he's getting it. Oh, you don't give up. Oh, I think he figured it out. Oh, he figured out the problem. He's like, oh yeah, it was hooked here. He's getting it. Come on, man, you almost got it. That little leaf isn't the problem. Oh, he got it unlodged. Man, he is tugging away at that thing. Oh, shoot. Come on. Come on, get it. Oh, it's hooked around something else now. Oh, man. Alright, this is just getting sad. I'm going to leave you to it. That was our official word from the ant. Hope you enjoyed that little segue. Or interruption. Anyway, so it was kind of cool to have somebody seemingly official commenting on that, but I assume, you know, even if it's a video that doesn't have that many views, oh, they all came out kind of jumbled, they don't want people kind of giving the product a bad name, but hopefully I illustrated pretty well in the videos that it was definitely probably my fault more so than the product. Still got them views. The scenic ones, that is. In case it wasn't obvious, we also still haven't heard back from the realtor about the soil analysis thing. Again, last I heard is that they're still waiting on the soil scientists to get back to them. Don't know how hard they're pushing for it, but again, even still, the minimum square footage ordinance is a hurdle after that for us. We've gone around and looked at some other properties and stuff, and I think one thing that's done for me, like, I really like this area, and at this point, I think if I had my choice about it, if we could afford it and everything, I would really want to do something with this property here. But based on what we've seen and experienced with other properties, this seems even more daunting and impossible to me now. Coming back and looking at it and the sheer steepness of it and the presumed cost of getting a driveway put in, getting the septic put in, all that stuff is just, it's kind of crazy that it's potentially easier to actually find a property that has a lot of that stuff done already than to start out with a blank slate and get it done from scratch. I guess, you know, I've kind of expanded my horizons a bit, developed my perspective a little bit more, and while I don't think what I had in mind is or wasn't possible, it's just the practicality of it, I guess, is kind of dawning on me more now. I don't know, maybe it's in context of knowing that there are potential other options out there that kind of does it, because my view on this prior was more like, this is our only option, this is the land we bought, and this is what we have to do if we want to make it work. So, you know, I think with enough determination and along with enough desperation you can make anything work. But I don't know, it's yet to be seen. Once again, I still don't want to give up on this property yet, but it is kind of like revealing to me like just how big of a chunk we're biting off here trying to do something with this. Maybe another day, a different mood, some unexpected news, something will change my outlook on this, but that's what's just going through my head today. Don't know if it means anything or not, but it is what it is. So admittedly, I'm not quite sure what to do about this, assuming that we do abandon this project. My intention all along, I think I've discussed this probably numerous times, is to build a little retention wall here and use this dirt to make a flat area so that we would at least have somewhere to come and like chill out. And that's certainly possible. The question now though is, with other prospects in consideration, do we want to spend the money it would take to do that here? And if the answer to that is no, then what do we do to make this safe and environmentally friendly, whatever? You know, do what we're supposed to do, take care of it. So right now, as you could see, hopefully, I moved the trees. Hopefully that'll kind of reinforce that a little bit and keep the trees from putting too much pressure on the silt fence. Yeah, but I don't know, we gotta figure this out. Yeah. Alright, so here's the road after I did my handiwork. As you can see down here, I kind of smoothed this out and I cleared that out a little bit. There's still stuff like caught in the pipe itself, but I put all these big rocks here to hopefully try to dissuade any of the smaller stuff from packing in there and clogging it up. I don't don't know if that's the right move or not, but that's my line of thinking. And all this I did here with the little pick and shoving stuff with my feet. It's definitely not a repaired road, but it's a little bit of an improvement. I mean, you could probably drive in those rut areas now without it being too uncomfortable, or at least not as uncomfortable as it was. So basically just doing a lot of this, raking stuff off into these little ruts, and using the pick to kind of rake it around and loosen it up and stuff as well. A lot of this on the side here I felt was probably kind of washed over from all the water, so I used it the most. Unfortunately, the front up here is so deep, and a lot of the gravel that was here I think washed further down, and I just don't have the energy or the mind to go through all the trouble of doing all that. So that's how I'm gonna leave it. I think that was a pretty solid day's work. I started feeling a little bit better there towards the end once I kind of got my body back into the groove of things. Started kind of feeling it a bit better, but you get out of practice, man. It just goes, how come people aren't like animals where you just like are naturally strong? Well, I think that's gonna be the end of today's epic adventure. I might go for a little bit of a drive on my way home, but pretty much gonna call it there. Hopefully that was a nice exciting little adventure back up to the property to get nothing done. Hopefully we'll have more exciting news in the near future.